Napoli fans around the world, welcome to Napoli Talk and welcome to a new setting. I'm here in the south of Italy on vacation, so partly why there's been a lack of videos in recent days, but also because, to be honest, there's not been that much news on Napoli, not much going on. A few friendlies here and there, but I don't want to read too much into them as I don't think they're representative of what's to come this season. Let's wait until the first few games to give our first verdict. But we do have a very important game coming up in a few days, on the 10th of August, our first Coppa Italia match. So that will tell us already something. It'll be the start of my, let's say, start of the season report. But because the season is starting, we do have to talk a little bit about the team and kind of the key areas that I think are still a bit of a struggle for us. So in recent days, there was a lot of different talk about the goalkeeper position, with Napoli's official radio saying that Meret is not convincing Conte, that Caprile himself is not convincing Conte, and we saw the mistake that he did in the friendly where he gave the goal away against Girona. Now look, we've seen that from Meret throughout his career, okay? I think he actually improved a lot under Spalletti when it comes to ball distribution, passing. We know he's a great shot stopper. Obviously has a few mistakes in him, but every goalkeeper does. What I think is his biggest weakness is his distribution when he's under pressure, because I don't think he has that quick thinking that goalkeepers that play from the back sometimes need. And I think that also comes with a bit of a lack of personality. And you saw last year how he struggled to lead a line. When Kim was in there, we didn't have a leader in that midfield, in that defense. And hopefully with this season, Buongiorno being there, he can bring some stability into that defense. But still, I would like to see our goalkeeper have a more active approach in that. When it comes to the goalkeeper position, however, I don't think nothing will actually end up happening, because the official radio itself then a few days later went on to say that whatever they said is not actually true, that Conte is happy with the goalkeepers. And to be honest, I think we've got bigger fish to fry at the moment. Meret, whether you like him or not, has still shown that he's able to be in a team that wins a Scudetto. You can't take that away from him. For sure, he's not a goalkeeper that will get you 5, 6, 10 points like maybe Magnan does or Sommer did with Inter. But I think there's other positions in the field that are much more critical for us at the moment. For example, let's start with the midfield, the center mids. If Conte wants to play a 3-4-3 and we have just two center mids with Lobotka and Anguissa, we've seen in the friendly how fast, how easily Girona were able to cut through that midfield. And we've seen it other times when we've played 4-4-2, when we've played 4-2-4. Like we know that Lobotka and Anguissa together are not able to filter the ball, are not able to close all the spaces. They are not able to do that for a full 90 minutes. So I really don't see how we make that formation work in the middle. I think we will be super exposed in there unless we go out and buy an incredible midfielder. But I don't see us being linked to any one of those. What's more likely is that maybe Conte realizes this. He switches to a 5-man midfield, playing a 3-5-2 at some point during the season. And with 3 midfielders, then things are a little bit different. But these 3 midfielders, who are they going to be? Lobotka, Anguissa, and who's the third one? Is it going to be Cajuste, who's actually on his way out to the Premier League and he didn't convince last year? Is it going to be Brescianini, that we're being linked to, but has he got that experience? Is it going to be Fonloruncio, who did well last year in Serie A, but he's not someone that is able to, I think, do the defensive work. He's able to go forward, score some goals, which we need for sure, because we didn't score much from midfield last year, and that was one of our weaknesses. But is he someone that's going to run after people's heels? What I think we need is someone more like Alan. We need someone that is a better version of Cayuste, someone that can tackle people, someone that can run after the ball, because that will allow Anguissa and Lobotka to worry about either getting into the spaces like Anguissa used to do under Spalletti, where he did make runs into the box, and that allows Lobotka to think more about the distribution side of things and less so about chasing people down. Then in attack, obviously, we have the issue of Osimhen. Are we going to sell Osimhen this summer? If the answer is no, then the worry that I have is that Osimhen hasn't played a single game for us in preseason under Conte. Of course, he's been training with the team, but one thing is to train and one thing is to have 5-6 games under your belt as soon as the season starts. In any case, I trust Osimhen. If he were to stay, he's so good that I think under any coach, under any circumstance, he would end up making the difference. If we were to sell him and we get Lukaku, we have to see in what kind of shape Lukaku comes in. I'm sure he would do well under Conte. He's worked with him in the past. He's done well in the Serie A before. He is another one of those players that makes a difference, but only when he's fit. So is he going to be fit enough without having done the preseason training with Conte? I know he's been training with some personal coach, but it's really not the same thing, is it? But let's see. He's apparently very motivated to join. If he were to come, I think he would still be able to get us that 20 goals a season. So I'm not too worried about the attacking position. I just want it solved so that we can not waste time trying to get all the tactics right. I just want that to happen right now in preseason and not early September. But I think over the course of the year, whether we have Lukaku or we have Osimhen, we're still going to get 20 goals from our main man. And then it's about who do we put next to him, right? If we play a 3-5-2, it's got to be Kvara as the second striker, with Raspadori, Simeone, Chedira all as reserves for those two guys. But if we play with a 3-4-3, then we have one of Lukaku or Osimhen in the middle, and then the other two on the side like we had last year. It's going to be Kvara on the left, and on the right, Politano or Engonje. I hope it's Engonje that gets a start in that case over Politano. I think he's an incredible player that we still have to discover a lot more. Whereas Politano, we know what he can give, right? And to be honest, it's usually not enough. When it comes to, however, if we were to play a 3-5-2, I think those two guys are a bit penalized because I'm not sure they can play as an out-and-out striker. Maybe a bit more so Engonje, because I think he's got that sense of goal, that sense of getting into the box. But Politano, absolutely not. And I fear that they will be placed on the right side as a right wing back, as kind of a alternative to Mazzocchi. Maybe Mazzocchi plays when we play against more offensive teams, and then when we want to dictate the play, we might put Politano and Engonje on the right. If that were the case, I'm not convinced that those two players have what it takes to do the entire length of the field, up and down, up and down, up and down. Especially not Politano. Politano, when he just has to do the front side of the field, he only lasts about 1 hour. If you were to ask him to do the entire field, he might last you 30 minutes. So it's a bit confusing to me, to be honest, this position of the field. The rest, the defense, the left wing back position with Spinazzola and or Oliveira, that for me is very clear. But this right wing back position, I'm not convinced with Mazzocchi and or Politano, Engonje or Di Lorenzo. I just don't see them giving what, for example, Spinazzola or Oliveira could give on the left. But yeah, guys, until we know if Osimhen is staying or going, the entire market for us is a bit blocked, because one thing is if you have 100+ million to spend on players, and one thing is if you don't. So the types of names we will be linked to are going to be different. And if we sell Osimhen, we can try to really fill the squad with players in the right position, spend a bit more money. But if we don't sell Osimhen, then that's where you're going to see players adapted into new roles like we spoke about, or the types of players like Gilmore and Brescianini that are good players, but they don't quite make the crowd go crazy with enthusiasm. But we will not know probably until the last 10 days of August. So that's just the way it is. That's always been the case, that you have to wait until the very end. That's when most of the activity happens. So let's just wait a few more days to know the truth of how this Napoli team will shape up. And guys, before I go, I want to say thank you to everybody that has watched this video so far, that's been a supporter of the channel. I'm excited for a new season with you guys. I want to give a special shout out to one of the fans called Mario Bowen. He's off to the US Navy boot camp, and wish him all the best. If you guys want to send him any motivation, then get in touch with his dad, Daniel Bowen. I'll put the link in the description. Guys, that's everything from me. If you want to put anything in the comments about who you think we should buy or anything like that, put it down there. Smash that like button and subscribe. And as always, Forza Napoli sempre. Ciao.